the man who needs no introduction, and he normally just goes by one name, and that is Primetime. Adam Townsend, big-headed motherfucker, what are you doing?
What's up, you big-headed son of a bitch?
Oh, listen. I've been sitting here thinking about you fighting at 170
naked?
pounds.
You think about me naked, wouldn't you? Thinking about me naked, wouldn't you?
What if you had to get naked to make 170 pounds? I would laugh so hard.
I might miss weight just for the fuck of it, matter of fact. I've done it before. I ain't scared to do it again.
Listen, Peyton, Maggie, the baby, they need that money. You can't be giving up no money.
I know.
But
everybody's always taking my damn money.
What, 170 pounds? Walk me through this. You fought as low as, what, 45? Have you fought at 35?
No, I'd die. 45 is the lowest I've ever made. Made 45 and a half one time, actually, is the lowest I've ever been in my life. So.
And now it's 70. How do you feel, like, knowing that you don't have this horrendous weight cut? Even, at the times you've been at, I know you fought at 50.
Yeah, I still got to lose 25 pounds. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, my God. That would not surprise me, though, coming from your ass.
This is 24.
Just 24. But listen, this is after dinner.
No, man. Honestly, we actually first agreed to fight at 160, and I'm a 55er. I'm a relatively decent sized 55er, and I'm a huge 45er. But 70 is something I've always talked about and kind of joked around about. And I was like, Craig's a big dude. He probably wants to eat. I like to eat. Why the hell we both going down to fucking 160? It probably helps him out a little bit more. Not having to cut as much weight, because I think that was kind of the thing that made the fight a little bit more to my advantage. Is fighting at 160 and making him drop some extra pounds. But hell with it. We're going to come in the same weight regardless. We're going to come in probably close to 180 pounds, 185 pounds. Both of us will, whether we fight at 55 or 60 or whatever. So now we just don't got to kill our bodies as much and get to enjoy a little bit more food and shit like that now.
I'm trying to make this fight make sense in my head. This is a big fight. Craig's got a big following. You are on a hell of a roll right now. When this was offered, did it immediately make sense? Did you have to think about it? Walk me through that.
Nah, man, this fight was like, they offered it up to me. To be honest, I don't even remember. I think it was like, this fight was actually happened. This fight got brought up to me like before, not George Medina, but the fight before that. Tim was like, hey, I want you to fight. I'm coming to Blumville. I want you to fight Craig main event. On this, and I was like, well, I want to, but at the same time, hell, I've got to get through two more fights, and at the time, everybody was filling my head through this fucking George Medina dude was supposed to be the absolute shit, and I fought him at 150, so I was like, well, let me get through these couple fights, and we'll talk about it. Nah, he just kind of, Tim's persuasive, he pays me well and all that shit, and talked me into taking this fight, so.
But it's what's crazy to me is, you started off 2014 with a huge fight, that didn't go your way in a winner-take-all match. A lot of people would have been like, I don't know what to do from there, right? That's obviously a lot of money on the table. You were coming off a win, but, you'd been to Ring of Combat and lost, so, every fight means something, but this was this is a big fight. This could be a difference maker moving forward. You took some time off, came back, and you've been unstoppable since then. 2 fights in November. You fought in back-to-back months in June, July, August. Super impressive. Was there something that changed?
Man, a lot of shit changed. Yeah, a lot of shit changed. The main thing changed is I thought that I was fucking good. I thought that I was better than what I was. Not meaning like better than what I was as far as like being overconfident or thinking I was better than much better than these fighters. But I was putting time in the gym, but at the same time I wasn't putting the right time in the gym. Like now I train my ass off. I'm in the best shape you can ask, anybody that trains with me. I'm an animal when it comes to cardio now. Like I used to have like suspect cardio, and I'd get tired. I don't get tired now. You know what I mean? That's what I tell everybody the main difference is. I went back to, you know, being out there to fight to win a decision and fight to make sure I can get through the, you know, if shit don't, you know, end real quick in the first round, you know, coasting through the next two. I can finish it in the first round, second round, third round. It don't matter to me now. I can finish it whenever now. That's the biggest difference to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I got my head right. You know, all my decisions, all three of my losses have come from fucking bullshit decision losses. I take credit for losing one of them fights the second time in Atlantic City. We've talked about that before. That's the only fight that I really ever feel like I lost just because I spent so much time on the cage. But none of the other ones really matter. And the same way with Craig, too. You look at Craig's fight. Craig beat Wade Johnson. Craig beat the other dude in Atlanta or something like that. And, you know, he got knocked out up there in Atlantic City. So, in my eyes, I've got one loss on my record. Craig's got one loss on his record, you know, and we're the biggest, you know, toughest fighters that ain't signed yet in Tennessee. So, I mean, I think this fight definitely boosts one of us and, you know, maybe hurts one of us too. But I know who's going to get boosted and who's going to get hurt.
Does it?
No pun intended. No pun intended. So.
No pun intended. I don't want to try to get salty here, but, like, here's like a mirroring thing with you and Craig. He lost to Paul Felder. Yeah. Felder's going to be taking his second UFC fight. You lost to Frankie Perez. Frankie's making his UFC debut up in Boston.
Yep.
Do you feel like, I didn't ask Craig this, but do you feel if that was you that won back in June of 2013 against Frankie, that it would be you in the UFC?
You know, I don't know. I thought about things like that. The biggest difference in MMA, and you know this as well as I do, it's about just like anything else in life. It's who you know and who you blow. You know, I mean, if you are training with Frankie Edgar and Ricardo Almeida every day of your life, you know, then they got connections and, you know, with big people in the UFC. And Frankie Perez is, Frankie Edgar is one of your main training partners, and Hannah Brow, and not Hannah Brow, what's his name? Edson Barbosa. You know, we're up there training with you, and you get all these good fighters you're training with and these big-name fighters you're training with, and, you know, the UFC's going to know you a little bit better. You're some country boy that lives in a trailer in Tennessee, you know, they probably ain't going to know you so well, you know what I'm saying? So it's just shit like that's kind of frustrating and sometimes in some ways, but, you know, I'm getting my wins up. I'm definitely on the level that they are. You know, nobody's even come close to finish me or put me away, and, you know, I'm just ready to prove to everybody that I'm the best fighter there is in Tennessee, period, right now. And you know, Craig's a tough opponent, but I'm just ready to show everybody that I can kick ass from 145 to 170.
Does having Sam Kaplan in your corner now change things, do you think? Because I feel like that's a pretty big deal.
That's funny you mentioned that. I got a email from I forgot to even announce that. I should have just screenshotted this fucking text. I got a text from Sam Kaplan like maybe one day last Tuesday. Yeah, a week ago. And he just sent me all this shit saying, "Hey, I'm done with MMA, period. I'm releasing you from your contract, yada, yada, yada." So I don't know what the fuck happened with that one. I signed with him for a week, and then he fucking jumps the ship. I don't know.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it.
Man, I feel bad for him bringing that up now. I thought he was...
I would have talked about it regardless at some point, because you'd remind me of it, I'm sure. But, no, it's no big deal at all to me. It was just like one of the fun things I thought was hilarious.
Sam,
the only thing I can figure is I think that he has like his own, you know, he does his own promotion. The only thing I can figure is he just took a fucking hard lick on his you know, promotion or something like that, and he was like, fuck this shit, you know.
Yeah.
It is hard to let the show, you know.
It's a big difference going from Viacom money making fights to your own money and making fights.
Yeah.
You know?
Big fucking difference.
That's not like, and I know you guys are friends, but like the way Tim Loy can put stuff together just amazes me. Like constantly 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 fight cards a year, and he just keeps things rolling. I don't know how he stays sane. He must smoke a lot of crack or something. I don't know. Yeah,
no, he's more of a meth guy. I think he like bangs heroin and does meth. I think the thing gets Tim. I'm just kidding. Tim. Me and Tim's had our ups, not really ups and downs. I can't really say that I've ever, but you know, Tim was my manager at one point in time, and you know, he had too much on his plate to be my manager and also to be be promoting all these fucking fights all the time. But me and him are still, have a great relationship. We're still good friends and everything like that. It's just I let him do his promotion, and he still helps me find fights. He still tells me about fights, and he's offered me several fights and stuff like that. So we keep each other in the loop on all things. Tim Lloyd's Tim Lloyd and probably Chantilly's probably the two biggest names in Tennessee as far as promotions and promoters go, and matchmakers and all that shit. So they get a lot of business and stuff like that. So it's just cool to I'm good friends with Chantilly too. So it's cool to be in the loop with both of them, both them dudes.
Yeah, you've got two fights under the V3 banner. Medina was billed as a killer, tough guy. I talked to him on several different occasions, and you kind of took away the hype there, which was that your last fight? Yeah, that was your last fight.
Yeah, that was my last one. Yeah, down in Nashville. Yeah, Medina, he was supposed to have been some great jiu-jitsu guy and everything, and I know that my jiu-jitsu is fucking amazing too. Like a lot of people don't really understand how good my jiu-jitsu is until you actually roll with me and stuff like that. A lot of people think I'm a wrestler. Most people that don't know me never knew that I never ever wrestled either. So, but I just feel like that I'm so well-rounded with everything. But I think Medina, now Medina's fighting Josh Cate on Tim Lloyd's show on January the 31st, I believe. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a horrible fight for. Yeah, I think that's a horrible fight for Medina there too. So, Josh Cate's fucking good, man. A lot of people don't understand how good Josh Cate is. As long as Josh Cate don't go out there and have a mental breakdown or some shit like that, he's a killer. So.
And
then you got Ben Brewer versus Justin Fisher main eventing that shit. So that's a big ass card too already, and plus 20 other pro fights or some shit.
Are you commentating that one?
Always.
Always.
I love that shit. I love commentating, dude. It's fun as shit.
Do you get to free flow like here, or do you have to watch your language?
Yeah, I try to make sure I don't cuss, which is hard. And Cody Gwynn, he puts that shit together, and he has to edit some of that shit out every now and then here and there. So like when what was the one thing, the big one? When who was his name? Sam Burns knocked out Dustin Dyer. I was like, oh fuck, like loud as shit. He just had to completely erase my segment there for a minute because that was exciting. That was a good ass knockout.
That's hard.
I've done it, up, man.
I've done it on occasion, and this for the same reason I can't be a commentator is the same reason I can never be a referee. I want to watch. I just want to watch.
Exactly. Yep.
So I can never be a ref because I'll be like, oh shit, he's about to break his arm. Oh wait, I gotta stop this. Yeah.
The hardest thing about commentary for me is that the MMA community is such a small network, and most of the time it's local guys fighting more out of town guys for most of the shows around here. So I normally know a lot about one person and jack shit about the other person. So I'm forgetting their names half the time and know more about this person than I do about this person. I like this person and really want him to win, and I try to be as unbiased as can be. When I'm doing these things, but it's still hard not to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the reason I can never be, because if I like somebody, I like them, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm no, like, well, I kind of like him or whatever, I like the people that I train with and know a lot,
Now, this is the first time I've been in your neck of the woods. I've got my hotel booked. I'm coming down. How close is Bluntville to where you live?
So where are you, Bluntville's like, you've heard of Bristol Motor Speedway, right?
Yeah.
The fastest half mile. 20 minutes. I'd say it's like 15, 20 minutes. The fights are like 15 or 20 minutes from there, and I'm about 25 minutes from Bristol. So it's around probably 40, 45 minutes, depending on which way you go. I can go through Johnson City, or I can go through Bristol to get to the same place. It kind of depends.
Right, because when I asked him,
Kingsport, right?
I asked him, I said, where's everybody staying at? And he gave me the hotel in Kingsport. So I assume that's close.
Kingsport. It's right on the. I'm sure you'll be coming through that way anyways if you're coming through. I don't really know.
Yeah, I'm coming like
exactly
down through Pikeville, down that way.
Yeah. So I mean, like Kingsport's like 15 minutes away from fights, I'd say at the most, because you're on the interstate the whole way. I mean, you'll be on the interstate coming from Kingsport and right through there as well. So.
Is this?
You can come up here and stay with me, man. I can get you a hotel up here in Elizabethton, bro.
Is this Dickie? What's the name of this place? Dickie Warren Dome. Is this a big deal?
me and Tim Lloyd went and done some promoting at the wrestling they had, supposedly over there. Me and Tim pull up there, and there's nobody there. And dumbass Tim gave us the wrong direction, so we had to go out in Kingsport to the Civic Center out there and watch the wrestling and do the promotion out there. So until Saturday, I'd never been to the Dickie Warren Dome and still haven't been in it yet. So I don't know. I just know that it's a complete dome. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a basketball court, basically, essentially, with seating all the way around it. So I think it'll be a nice venue. They've got some really sick ass lights now and some good all that shit, some music and stuff like that they're bringing out to this show. And I think they're gonna make it a really super nice show. And I think Shane is with Shane Goins now, and Tim are helping each other out more. And I think Shane adds a little bit of a piece to the puzzle that's helping out Tim as well, as far as getting all the little kinks out of the show and stuff like that to make it a better show and better promotion type of shit.
Tomorrow's New Year's Eve, 2015 is upon 2014 minus the Nathan Train fight, which was close as hell. I mean, that's a razor thin decision. If it went either way, I think we both agree.
I agree.
It was just. I mean, I wouldn't want to judge it. And there's something to be said about watching it as opposed to being cage side and
exactly
everything that goes on with it. And I think that's part of judging that nobody ever talks about. And we go to fights every weekend, and you can leave and be like, holy shit, that was the best fight I've ever seen. You watch it on tape, and you're like, oh wait, that really wasn't that good.
Yeah.
But it's something about being there and how everything's going. So, but other than that, 2014, a hell of a year. Do you do resolutions? You got goals, something that you're gonna write down, try to stick to?
UFC is my goal. I will be there. By the end of this year, I'll be there. So mark it down on your calendar. You'll see me in there. I'm bugging Dana White and Lorenzo and Sean Shelby and Joe Silva don't have a Twitter, but if he did, I'd be bugging him too. I'm tweeting them dudes every day, let them know, prime time is coming. Just need my chance.
Can we put together this, Jonathan Ivy fight? He's back in the game.
Jonathan Ivy, who is this guy again? He said he's got like 150 fights or something.
He's the leg lock monster. He's the one. I don't know if you've ever seen the video of the guy that's fighting Ken Shamrock, and he completely does this roll away from him. And everybody laughed at it, but I mean, he literally has probably like 150 fights.
How many of them are wins?
20. I don't know. John Ivy. Let's look up his record right now. John Ivy.
Go ahead.
These are just what's on mixedmartialarts.com. It's not counting what he did in Mexico and all that. He's 40-53.
That's not too bad. I mean, it's not great. But, I mean, that's a lot of fights. I mean, to have 90-something fights is fucking incredible, and that's just the ones that are actually on. Are you using Sheerdog or MMA? Either way, there's tons of them.
What does Sheerdog say? Sheerdog has him at. Oh, my computer's being slow. 31-53.
You know what pisses me off is Sheerdog. I guess Sheerdog is more of a northern, maybe, or something, northern website, and MMA.TV is more of a southern website or some shit. But my record, I guess most of the people around here use MMA.TV, so my record's always screwed up on. I think I was 9-3, and my record on Sheerdog was 0-2.
Yeah, that's sure
what they had me up there.
MixedMartialArts.com is like what the ABC is kind of pushing on everybody to be the central repository for everything. But that being said, if you were to go to Canada or Japan, you're more likely to find that shit on Sheerdog because they only do sanctioned fights.
And what Joe Silva and all them dudes look at, all the UFC guys and stuff like that, they look at Sheerdog. They don't look at MMA.TV. So that's why it's important that your Sheerdog record and all that shit is legit as well. So
I think you can email them and they'll fix it for you.
I have. I've done it several times. So I think it should be up to date on there now.
Let's check it out. Adam Townsend. So UFC 2015, it all starts next Saturday. Like, I talked to Tim when this fight was made. He's like, you got to come. And I was like, well, if you say I got to come, I got to come.
Yeah.
I just looked up Adam Townsend. There you are.
Am I on there?
Yeah, 11-3. Yeah.
Hell yeah. They got it right. I think I had to call him, text him the other day and tell him to update that shit. I'm just always like bullshitting with him. I'm like, hey, Dana White called me and said I need to update my shear dog today, and it'll normally fix it for me. I don't really know if that works or not, but that's what I tell him regardless.
Well, man, 170 pounds next Saturday. What do you got left? What's left for you? I mean, what's left in the gym? I mean, surely you don't have to cut that much weight, right?
No. I mean, I just got a couple pounds to go, man. It ain't nothing major. It's just cool that, I finally found somebody that, can make 55 and don't care to, fight at the weight we, closer to what we walk at. So, I walk at about 185 pounds. That's not something good. I'm not bragging about it, but, I like to eat, so. But, I'm still training hard, dude. I don't take no days off. I used to take, 3 or 4 days off before the fights, but now I train all the way up until Wednesday before weigh-ins, which will be on a Friday. So I'm in there training. I'll train hard the rest of this week, very, very hard, all the way up until Monday, and then coast through Tuesday and Wednesday and cut some weight Thursday if I need to, and Friday as well, and, make weight and, try to knock somebody's head off their shoulders or kick their head off their shoulders or choke their head off their shoulders, whatever it be, on Saturday.
Well, there it is. January 10th. Townsend, Johnson, main event, kicking the year off right in the ass down at the Dickie Warren Dome in Blunteville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
Adam, it's always a pleasure. Before I let you go, you know how to do it.
Oh, yeah, I got to give you a shout-out.
Give you shout-outs. Hey, are you doing a show tomorrow night?
Yeah, I am. I do my own blog talk radio. I talk a bunch of shit just like this on my show as well. If you like,
but it's only 30 minutes. It's only 30 minutes. You got money. You need to pay that $30
blog
a
talk
month.
wouldn't let me do it 30 minutes. They said that if my show was any longer than 30 minutes, they would just cancel everybody else's because mine's so fucking awesome.
All right, fair enough.
No, I'm just kidding. My show is pretty random, pretty redneck. We like to keep it country on that thing. No, I'm just kidding. But I do my show. It's called Primetime MMA Live every Wednesday at 11 p.m. Tune in to it on Blog Talk and listen to that. You can find me on Twitter at Adam Townsend MMA, Facebook Adam Primetime Townsend. I've got 5,000 friends on my regular Facebook page, so I can't accept no more on that one now. What else? All my sponsors, you can go to AdamPrimetimeMMA.com. Check my website out. I got new shirts coming out. If you need a shirt, they're $20. Got tickets for sale. Fighting in Blunteville. It's like, real close, 30, 45 minutes from my house. So come check me out. I don't thank, especially my two boys for, allowing me to take time and train my ass off like I do and all that stuff. So I just appreciate you having me on the show as always, Gary. Fun talking to you. Fun bullshitting for, 20 minutes or so, buddy.
Well, man, I'm making the haul down there. I expect some shenanigans afterwards. I won't trouble you before the fight. What the heck? This bitch starts like 4 o'clock. What? I mean, what's the deal with this?
Crazy. If Tim Wood wouldn't try to put 70 fucking fights on the card, we wouldn't have to start these some bitches at 4 o'clock and we fight at 1:30 in the morning. But that's just how he does it.
The earliest.
Oh well.
The earliest I've ever started an event was at 2 o'clock, which was UFC, and
oh yeah, makes sense.
That was technically in Tennessee, but it took forever. But anyway, Prime time, it's going down. I'll see you on the 10th. Until then, take care, kick ass. Hey, when are you shutting your Facebook down? I know you always do before a fight. When's that shut down?
I ain't shutting it down, bro. I ain't shutting down. People need tickets. People need T-shirts. I got to make the money. So.
Well, there you go. Hit him up.
I'm focused. I'm ready to go. Hey, let me say that real fast. That's another thing I used to do. That just brought to my head. Sorry to keep myself on here longer, but that's another thing I used to do was I'd put people as my backgrounds on my phone and have to take Ambien to sleep at night before leading up to fights. But I just put all that shit out of my head now. I just go in there and, I fight them the day of the fight. I don't think about them ever. I don't, go around and look at them every time I open up my phone and all that shit. It's made my life a lot better, and, hey, I don't got to worry about none of that shit no more. I'm not as mental as I used to be, so it's cool.
Not as obsessive. That would that would be draining. That would be, tiring just fucking thinking about it all the time.
Mm-hmm. I think that's another thing that's helped me a lot. Sorry, I'll let you go now.
You should be thinking about Maggie more. You should think about Maggie as much as she thinks about me. How about that?
She probably does, man. If you don't stay, I don't know. No, I'm just kidding. Bros before hose, man. Bros before hose. Found it. Air high five right now.
Got bro fist, son. Bro fist.
Gotcha.
There you guys go. Adam, Primetime Townsend. Adam, take care, man. I'll see you next week.
See you, homie. Prime time.